go, guys? Welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. Y'all know, beside the updates, beside the news, I also like to bring topics that I can give my humble opinion about. And in this case, I'm going to speak about the situation between Donald Trump and Nicolas Maduro, between the U.S. and Venezuela, because Donald Trump has sent some army boats close to the coast of Venezuela. Apparently, they're getting ready to be in a war, and who knows how this going to end. I'm also going to speak about how all of this have a lot of influence in the country of Colombia, my beautiful country. So let's speak about this and let's jump in this new video. So fellas, like I say, I'm going to give my humble opinion about all these situations between Venezuela and the US, because it seems like the problem is gonna be bigger than what it is, because now the US Army, the US boats, they are close to the Venezuelan coast, and who knows how this is going to end. And a lot of countries from the Caribbean, they also supporting the US. And honestly, I have to say that I'm not like fan of Donald Trump or something. I don't like, some things that he does. But at the end of the day, I don't really care about that. But on this, I'm really supporting him. And it's not like the Colombian guy, myself, like the violence or wars, stuff like that. But this guy, Nicolas Maduro, who is a person that I can stand, that man. So he's been going too far with that country of Venezuela that is our sister country, is in the border with Colombia. And like, we have a lot of like things in common. Like, Venezuelans and Colombia, we're different, but we have a lot of things in common, from our culture. Venezuela was really successful before this guy got into the power, and he almost like he got rid of all the good things that Venezuela has back then. And here's the reason why almost like 10 million of Venezuelans, they are living outside of the country. And like I say, who knows how this gonna end, because at the end of the day, wars, they no good for no countries. It affect both countries who are in the wars, and it also is gonna affect, well, if they got into a war, because the US, I think they're ready to fight. And this president well, I don't even want to call him a president. This man, Nicolas Maduro, he's been showing like a lot of like old people on the army that are with him. I don't think that they can fight even like for one day, honestly, because the people that they have, like the army people, they don't see like they can really fight against the US. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like I say, this is really sad that countries, they had to go to that. But like I said, this man, he's been going too far. They also been accusing him of being a part of the white business. I hope you guys understand that part, because, with YouTube, I gotta be careful to, with the things that I say, because, they can mark my video as offensive. Venezuela was like, every time, I have the opportunity to talk about Venezuela, I got a lot of feelings, because my grandma, she used to live in Venezuela, and thanks to the Venezuelan money, she was able to bought 3 houses in Colombia back then. Because Venezuela back then, like 25 years ago, 35 years ago, Venezuela was like the United States, that was closer for Colombians. So a lot of Colombians that were going over there, making their money and sending the money back to Colombia, building a house. And we owe a lot of things to Venezuela, because they like the Colombians who were living there back then, were living in Venezuela. They really contribute to our economy, and probably thanks to them, a lot of families, I'm sure, thanks to them, a lot of families, they're doing better than they're doing better than what they were doing back then. But I hope like this can end well for Venezuelan people, and all these people that they had to leave their houses, towns, their families, to go somewhere else to work. Like Colombia, in Colombia, we had like 5 million of Venezuelans, and a lot of them, they've been forced, because of their situation, they've been forced to do like things that they don't want. You know what I mean? Like a lot of working girls, I have met a lot of working girls that they've been telling me like, oh, I used to be a nurse in Venezuela. I used to be a doctor. I used to be like a lot of things, a lot of great careers that, that they don't work. It's not good for them in Colombia because they won't be able to make the type of money that they were making back then. And like they, and like girls, I have met other guys who that they've been telling me what they were doing for a living in Venezuela, and I really get sad because I'm like, it's sad to leave your country, go somewhere else, where you had to sometimes stand bad treatment for other people because, well, I don't trade Venezuela badge, because like I said, I have family who are from Venezuela. They were born over there, but they descendants, were from Colombia, that they have moved there. So I feel a lot of respect for that country. You know what I mean? But like I said, I just wish, like this, they wish, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I wish, and I hope the U.S., can get rid of all these people that they've been hurting that beautiful and amazing country that is full of a lot of beautiful people with a good heart. Because I have met a lot of Venezuelans who are like really bad person, but I also have met some Venezuelans who are really good person. You know what I mean? And for them, I always trying to get the best things of the place or the people that I have met, you know what I mean, or the communities that I've been in. I don't take, like the bad things, you know what I mean, because even some Venezuelans in Colombia, they had an ugly reputation, but the ones that are being around, majority of them, they're great and amazing people. So a lot of people, a lot of brothers been reaching out to me about all these situations, oh, what do you think about that? What do you think? It's going to affect my country one way or other, because if they start fighting, a lot of Venezuelans, they're going to emigrate to Colombia again to get somewhere safe. You know what I mean? And if the U.S., they do a great job, you know what I mean, getting rid of that person, that man over there, a lot of Venezuelans, they're going to go back to their country. It means that probably, the person, the girls, you're dating with in Colombia, they might can leave, and because that's, I've been told, a lot of these girls, they here because, they had to be here. They can't be in the country, and they've been telling me like, once Venezuela get better, once they take down the president, oh, I'm moving back to my country, no matter what. So probably you can be married now, or you can have a fiancé, and tomorrow you can be single if things work out for them in Venezuela. But Venezuela is different than Colombia, and a lot of brothers have to understand this. Even like I've been mentioning on the video, we're the same, but the culture is different. So it's gonna take a lot for people to to be booking flights to go to Venezuela. To if things get better, like I said, I'm just having a dream. Let's say Venezuela gets better now, so it's gonna be hard for you to move over there like you move in Colombia, because Venezuela even was better than Colombia. Always, well, not at this point now, but when they were like in a good position, the economy was good. It was more dangerous than Colombia because the culture is different. The guys over there, they operate different. All of that. So it means like if they had the same people, the same kind of people, the same amount of people traveling to Venezuela, that compared to the amount of people that we had traveling now here to Colombia, it means a lot of people, more people gonna get in trouble over there because they operate different, so everything would be different over there, fellas. So also, this is an advice for all the U.S. citizens who are in Colombia. You guys gotta be careful because we never know. And honestly, like I was watching TV the other day, and a member from the government of Venezuela was saying that any foreigner that goes to Venezuela right now, they won't be able to leave. So the ones who are here, you gotta be careful to where you're hanging out with, trying to stay at the tourist area, because we never know what's gonna happen, how this gonna end. Remember, Venezuela and Colombia, it's just a border right there, so we never know. They trying to mark almost like everybody who is from the U.S. and that trying to go to. I'm sure there is no people. Well, always is a dummy around. They're trying to go to Venezuela, but you guys trying to be far away from the borders that are close to Venezuela, all of that, because we never know. I have a friend who is from the United States. He used to go to Cucuta, which is at the border with Venezuela. I'm messaging him like, bro, you got to be careful now, because we never know how this is going to end, fellas. So I just hope, things get better for everyone. Things work out for the U.S., Venezuela, and Venezuela can be free again because they decide to be free. The people, who live here, they had the rights to go back to their country. It's kind of like, it's not hard to understand, like why the U.S. is getting involved in this, because at the end of the day, they're trying to get the benefits, and there is some humans that they got to return to their country. Like it's never you will never find a best flight that the ones that you take to go home. So all these people that working gurus, all Venezuelans who living here, who are living here, and everywhere outside the country, they had the rights to go back home. So I don't know how the future is gonna be for Venezuelans. I hope everything work out. Everybody can get happy, fellas. So this is the current situation. This is my humble opinion. Remember, I'm not supporting Trump. I'm not supporting Juarez. I'm not supporting none of that. But these people, they had to get, what they deserve. For those who ask me, like, do I think that, this is going to affect the tourism in Colombia if things in Venezuela get better? Yes, especially the Cloud Tower, Gerard's Park, because those are places where a lot of brothers, they going over there. And a lot of these girls, they won't do what they're doing here at the country, so you can kind of like rocking, things down for Cloud Tower and Gerard's Park. But Colombia is in a good moment with tourism. I don't think, it's going to affect a little bit, but it doesn't mean like tourists, they're going to stop of coming to Colombia. You know what I mean? So fellas, see you soon, guys, on the next video. It's been a lot going on in my life. That was the reason why I disappeared almost 10 days. I was missing you guys. I couldn't wait to post a video on my channel because I really love to do that, but I had some family issues that I was dealing with, but I'm back in the game. I hope you guys like my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Thanks for everything, and see you guys on the next video. This was Carlos, the Colombian guy.